Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopikante Radha Kante Namostute. Tapt Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Radhe Gokananda Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Krishna. So, today we are going to revise Cantos 1. So, I have put together a quiz. So let's see how it goes. Let me try to share that. First, just give me 1 second. I'll bring up the quiz. And okay, let me share the screen. Can you see the screen now? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. So you're all ready. There are simple questions. Let's see how we do it. Start. And you have to keep your own score. I'm not keeping the score right now, but keep your own score. And this will help us revise Cantos 1 simple questions, right? So let's see the first one. All right. So if you can answer, just jump in and answer, right? So where did Sud Goswamiji recited Srimad Bhagvatam? What place?
Naimisharanya, Gangaji.
Yeah, Naimisharanya. It's a place in UP. That's the place where Sud Goswamiji recited Srimad Bhagvatam. Yeah. So you can all be unmute if you want, so you can just quickly answer. Who was head of all the Rishi Munis gathered at Naimisharanya?
Sud Goswami.
Shaunak Muni.
Shaunak Muni, right? So Sud Goswamiji Maharaj recited, but then all the other rishis were headed by Shaunak Muni, and they were asking all the questions to Sud Goswamiji. All right. How many cantos are there in Srimad Bhagvatam?
18.
Hmm?
12.
12. There's a picture there.
Right here. So there are 12 cantos in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now this is interesting. So name some of the 18 Purans.
Bhagavad Puran is one, Vishnu Puran, Shiv Puran,
Garud Puran.
Garud Puran.
Yeah. Any other? There's Agni Puran, there's a Vayu Puran, right? But the most important Puran is Srimad
Srimad
Bhagavatam, the purest and the greatest Puran. Hare Krishna, Rasiksham Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We are revising Cantos 1, first canto. So we are revising it in the form of quiz. So everybody is keeping their scores. So the next question, who manifested Srimad Bhagavatam?
Vyasji.
Ved Vyasji, yeah. Ved Vyasji has written this. So Hare Krishna, Soham.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, did you prepare for the quiz?
No.
No. Right, here the answers so that you will know it, right? You may know some of the answers because you are reading very nicely. All right, so cool. Let's get to the next question. What is the meaning of Srimad Bhagvatam? So Srimad, right? Srimad means what? It means beautiful, means opulent. Yeah, that's what Srimad means. And Bhagavatam is Bhagavad Katha. Yeah. So Lord Vishnu's Katha. So that's what Srimad Bhagavatam is. And that's why it's known as greatest and purest Puran, because it is about the story of Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu's all the avatars. Yeah. Right. Why was Ved Vyasji feeling discontent even after compiling all the 4 Vedas and Purans? Why was that?
Because he was not, so he wrote all the Vedas, but he did not have the, what I call the bhakti, so the devotion towards God, which would have given him that, satisfaction. So he was always unsatisfied. He has written all the Vedas, but because he did not have bhakti towards Lord Krishna, he was not able to, satisfy himself. So that's the reason.
Right. Oh, that's great, Mukesh. And so Ved Vyasji compiled all the Vedas and all the Purans, and he was still not feeling happy, not content. And then, he realized that, that a devotional transcendental aspect is missing from this. And that is why he manifested Srimad Bhagavatam, the glories of the Lord. And which are the 4 Vedas? We talked about Purans. Which are the 4 Vedas?
Sam Veda, Atharveda, Yajurveda.
So Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, or Arthveda.
Right.
And he only wrote 3 Vedas. The 4th Veda was not written by him. The Arthveda was not written by him. He only wrote 3 Vedas.
Okay. And then there are specific rishis who. All right. So how many sloks and adhyayas are there in Srimad Bhagavatam? How many sloks?
18,000.
18,000 shloks, right? And how many adhyayas, chapters are there in those 12 cantos, right? We see all these 12 cantos. How many?
I think it was 320 or
32 or something.
32 or something.
332.
Yeah.
So you remember next time, right? 332 adhyayas, chapters.
We were close.
Bhagavatam. What's that? Yeah.
I said we were close.
Yeah, very close. But the 18,000 shloks, right? And out of 332 adhyayas, how many we have read so far?
We were at 19.
Right? So we have read 19, which is the first canto. First canto, there are 19 adhyayas. Yeah. Why is this human birth so fortunate? So a couple of times when we were going through Srimad Bhagavatam, right, I brought up that summary. Why is this human birth so fortunate? if anyone remembers.
I think this is the form in which we can connect to the Lord,
Yeah.
and you know, even the devtas, they basically वो भी, you know, they also feel कि हम इस form में आए ताकि we can, you know, get the, you know, the devotion of the Lord and get His blessings. I think that is the reason, you know, because
Right.
it's in this
So
form
that
it's
is the
very
reason.
easy to connect.
Right. That is the reason why human life is so important. But why at this particular time, the human life is so important, right? So remember, you brought up
Because this is the life we have also within like certain time of Krishna Bhagwan coming.
Right,
Right.
exactly, Tarun, right? So just before 5,000 years, right, the Kali Yuga started and Lord Krishna was born, right? And then just before 500 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, right? And Srila Prabhupada appeared during our times when he, you know, he got it all to the Western countries and everywhere. So we are so fortunate that we are in this yuga where Lord Krishna appears only once in Lord Brahma's one day and one night. And how big is that? Right? So 4.32 billion years, one day, and so 8.64 billions day and night together. And in that, Lord Krishna appears only once. And he just appeared 5,000 years ago. So we could actually really devote ourselves and hear his glories. That's why this human birth is so fortunate for us. We just talked about it. How long is Lord Brahma's one day? How long is that?
10,000 Earth year, probably.
No, we just talked about it, right? So 4 billion 32 years, right? Is the duration of one day of Lord Brahma. So Hare Krishna, Nisha. You are on mute, but
Hare
you can
Krishna.
unmute yourself if you know the answer of any of those questions. So we are doing quiz right now because we completed Cantos 1.
Okay.
So we are going through the questions and just to revise Cantos 1 at a very high level. So we'll keep going. Name some of the avatars of Supreme Lord Krishna. So in chapter 3, we went through 24 avatars of Lord Krishna, right? Lord Vishnu. So name some of the avatars.
Vaman avatar.
Vaman avatar, yes. One, everyone has to know at least one.
Ram.
Ram
Ram
avatar,
Avatar,
yes.
Vaman Avatar,
Narsingh Dev.
Narsingh Dev avatar.
Vara Avatar,
Vara avatar, yes.
Matsya Avatar,
Matsya avatar.
और कच्छप अवतार, कछुआ.
Tortoise avatar, yes.
Parashuram.
परशुराम जी, वेद व्यास जी.
Ved Vyas ji, yes, he is incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna.
नारद.
Right, Dev Rishi Narad. Yes, Sanat Kumars.
Mahatma Buddha.
Mahatma Buddha. Yeah, he's also supposed to be incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna. Right, and you know the hierarchy, right? So Lord Sri Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And then we have, Karno Dakshay Vishnu, and then Garbho Dakshay Vishnu, and then Kshiro Dakshay Vishnu. And then from Kshiro Dakshay Vishnu is in this universe. And then all the avatars are from Kshiro Dakshay Vishnu. Yeah, remember we read about all that.
Yep.
What are three modes of material nature in this Prakriti?
Goodness.
Goodness, that's Satogun. Yeah,
Satogun, Tamogun, Rajogun.
right. Tamogun and Rajogun. So Rajogun is the mode of patience. Tamogun is the mode of ignorance.
Ignorance.
Next time we'll ask some examples of those two. But we need to be situated in mode of goodness. and then go beyond that to get to devotion service of Lord Sri Krishna. Who are parents of Ved Vyasji who manifested Srimad Bhagvatam?
Parashar Rishi and Satyavati.
Yes, Parashar Muni and Satyavati. Yeah, very nice. Why is Sud Goswami Maharaj uniquely qualified to recite Srimad Bhagvatam to all the Rishi Munis gathered at Nemis Aranya? Why is only Sud Goswami Maharaj? Why are they requesting to Sud Goswami Maharaj, like, you please recite Srimad Bhagvatam to us?
Because he heard Srimad Bhagavatam directly from, I think, Ved Vyas or Sukdev Swami, one of them.
Sukdev Goswami.
Yeah.
Right? So when Sukdev Goswami ji was reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, Sud Goswami ji was present there, right? And he's so devotional, he's so dedicated to Lord Sri Krishna that he was uniquely qualified. Yeah, very nice. Right. Who fired the Brahmastra towards Uttara and why?
Ashwathama?
Yes, Ashwathama fired the Brahmastra towards Uttara. And why did he do that?
Because he wanted to avenge the death of Duryodhana.
Yeah, Dronacharya and Duryodhana, and he had no other choice when Arjuna was chasing him. And the real motive was he really wanted to finish the Pandu dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who was in the womb of Uttara?
Maharaj Parikshit.
Abhimanyu?
Abhimanyu.
Maharaj
Right?
Parikshit.
No,
Parikshit,
Abhimanyu.
Parikshit, right? Who is Abhimanyu?
Parikshit's
Parikshit.
father.
Oh, he is Uttara's husband.
Right, right. Uttara's husband Abhimanyu, and Maharaj Parikshit was in the womb of Uttara. And then who saved Uttara? Who saved Maharaj Parikshit in the womb of Uttara?
Lord Sri Krishna.
Sri Krishna.
Lord Sri Krishna himself gave darshan to Maharaj Parikshit and saved Uttara. And then once he saved it, remember we read the whole stuti of Maharani Kunti. So when Maharani Kunti was reciting that, think about a couple of incidences which she recited while praying to Lord Krishna.
वो वस्त्रहरण हुआ था तब
Draupadi, she cited that Lord Krishna protected her, right? I mean, protected the Pandus. Draupadi.
And then Lakshagraha.
Lakshagraha, where Pandus were protected by Lord Sri Krishna, right? Then Vish, which was given to Bhim, and how Lord Krishna protected, right? So some of the incidences which Maharani Kunti cited while praying to Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah. Who is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Lord Krishna.
Sri Krishna.
Lord Sri Krishna, right? That's why we are reading Srimad Bhagvatam, right, Soham? Who is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead? Soham.
Lord Sri Krishna.
Lord Sri Krishna. And you read Bhagavad Gita. When you were reading Bhagavad Gita, who was speaking in Bhagavad Gita?
Lord Sri Krishna.
Right. Lord Sri Krishna was speaking to whom?
Us, I think.
To Arjuna, right? Yeah, to Arjuna. Yeah. And now here that's Bhagavad Gita, and then of course we are reading Srimad Bhagvatam, which is all the stories, transcendental leelas of Lord Sri Krishna. Who is Pritha?
Kunti?
Kunti, right? Maharani Kunti is also known as Pritha. You know, we get confused between Pritha and Parth. Who is part?
Arjuna.
Arjun is
Arjuna.
part. Yeah. All right. Name few rishis who were present around Bhishma Pitama when he was lying at the bed of arrows. Who was present? Who all gathered at near Bhishma Pitama?
Vishwamitra.
Kashyap Rishi, Bhrigu
Narad
Rishi,
Muni,
See, Bhrigu Rishi, Dev Rishi Narad, yes. Vyas Devji himself, yeah. Three rishis. So all these big rishis gathered at when Bhishma Pitama was there. When did Bhishma Pitama stop speaking to Maharaj Yudhishthira and totally focused on Supreme Lord Sri Krishna? When did he decide, okay, this is it, I'm now going to totally focus on Lord Sri Krishna? Remember? What is that auspicious time when he decided, like, this is
when the
happening?
sun moved into northern hemisphere.
Right, right. When the sun moved closer to northern hemisphere, Uttarayan, it's said that when the sun is there, the route to heaven is shorter. And it's auspicious time. So Bhishma Pitama at that time said, okay, this is it. He gave all the Upadesh to Maharaj Yudhishthira and all the rishis gathered there about religion and everything else, all the questions. And then he said, he devoted to Lord Sri Krishna, and then he did the Krishna Stuti. And we heard Sri Krishna Stuti, right? Bhishma Stuti to Lord Sri Krishna. By whom? Whom did we hear from? We heard that Stuti, right? Remember a couple of times?
Bhishma Stuti.
Bhishma Stuti. And who was singing that? When we heard during our
It was Bhishma Tama itself, right?
yeah. But we heard from Ramesh Bhai Oja, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, they were asking that.
Heard Ramesh Bhai Oja singing it a couple of times, right? All right, we'll continue. I think we still have 5 more minutes. Let's do some more. All right, what are some memories did Bhishma Pitama remembered while doing Stuti of Lord Sri Krishna? What are some things he remembered?
One of the things you remember when Lord Krishna took Lord Krishna took the oath not to participate in the war, and Mahipratama forced him to come when he took it at Chakra and ran towards him. So we remember that time.
Correct, right? So Lord Krishna said he will never pick up the weapon, but Bhishma Pitama vowed that he is going to. And just to honor Bhishma Pitama's pratigya, Lord Sri Krishna took the wheel in his hand. And then what else? Right? Then he remembered how Lord Sri Krishna got Arjun right in the middle of the Kurukshetra. And so many things he cited during this Stuti. It's what listening again, it is so beautiful and so devotional, right? If you search on YouTube, just even by Ramesh Bhai Oja, Bhishma Stuti, it comes up and it's so wonderful to hear that. All right. Whose son was Sanak Muni? Do we remember? I think Bhrigu Rishi's son. No. Yeah, right? All right, that's an assignment. Let's find out whose son was Sanak Muni. Ask tomorrow again. Right, while traveling on a pilgrimage, Mahatma Vidu received knowledge of self from which sage? From Mahatma Vidur. Who was Guru of Mahatma Vidur? Now it's a tough question.
Like Narad Muni? No.
All right, second question, right? To find out. So note down those 2 questions. Whose son was Sanak Muni? And then while traveling on a pilgrimage, Mahatma Vidur received knowledge from whom? Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And then let's do one more question. What was the primary purpose of Mahatma Vidur's returning to Hastinapur?
He wanted to actually let Dhritarashtra know that his time was up and he needs to go and do penance instead of sitting there, you know.
Yeah.
Correct. He realized that Maharaj Dhritarashtra is not going to go anywhere, but he should go back to Godhead. He was worried about him. So he came back to Hastinapur, and then he convinced him that it's time for him to go. Yeah. And all right, this should be easy. This gross body, material body, is made up of which 5 elements?
Earth,
Agni,
fire,
Vayu, Akash,
Yes.
Prithvi,
Yeah. Agni, Vayu, Akash, Prithvi, and
Jal.
Jal.
Jal, right? So those are the 5 elements. This gross body is made up of, and then we have a subtle body, which is mind, intelligence, and ego, and then we have the soul, and the soul connecting to Super Soul and Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So we are going to pause here. There are some more questions. I think we'll just cover those tomorrow. But let's end it with a kirtan. And do you remember those 2 questions, right? Vidur Mahatmas and son of Sonak Muni. Yeah. So we'll cover those 2 tomorrow. And let's hear the kirtan very quickly.